Hey y'all, it's Miss Katie from Heritage Ways, and I want to tell you about my friend Arnica. Well, my friend Arnica's full name is Arnica Montana, and you may know her as a homeopathic remedy. She is very, it is very common in homeopathy. But let me back up a little bit first. First, I want to tell you a little bit about myself, about what happened, and this is just basically my experience, my most recent experience with Arnica. And, you know, I'm no expert in homeopathy, but let me tell you my story real quick. About almost 2 weeks ago, I guess it was 12 days ago, we were headed to the storage facility. And you know, if you follow us, you know that we are getting ready for our Heritage Homestead journey. And there was one hole, probably about 4 inches, not even, you know, not deep, but I stepped my foot in it and then fell. It wasn't pretty, but I fell on my knees and my right wrist caught my body. Now, I'm telling you all this for a reason and to maybe help you in some way. Let me insert here before I forget to do it in case I forget later. I'm no doctor, I'm no nurse, I am nothing but a mother. I've been a mother for almost 26 years and a wife for 29 years, and I've been dabbling and learning about natural things for 22 years, ever since one of our children has had issues. So I'm no expert. I want to be someday on a small level, but I'm no doctor. I'm not trying to diagnose anything. I'm not recommending any medication, but I'm not telling you to go out and buy this and it's going to heal you. This is my experience. So I fell, both knees and my wrist. I guess I was trying to hold on to my purse and my wrist caught me. So my knees were sore and my wrist was, but I was nervous because I've had a spinal fusion. I didn't want to have the spinal fusion, as far as, people saying don't have one surgery because then you'll have to have more. Well, that's another conversation, but that really saved my quality of life. And ever since then, like I said, I guess it was 15 years ago that I had it. And I've not had to have more surgeries. I've tell people the Lord and the chiropractor have kept me from having more surgeries, but I'm careful because I've thrown my back out, I've thrown my SI joint out, I've had sciatica and all those glorious things, and I honestly don't even sweep or mop, because one time I was just simply mopping and I threw my joint out, SI joint, and I couldn't walk. It was not good. So when I fell in the hole, I was nervous for that reason. I thought, this is not going to be good. Anyway, fell in the hole. We went on to the storage. So I want to walk you through how I felt, because that's telling the story of this Arnica. Now, I will say this Arnica, it's those of you who are watching who know more about homeopathy than I do, please forgive my ignorance, and I am working on learning. But this is Arnica Montana 30X, or 30 times, and that has to do with the way it's made. So what I did was the next morning after I fell, I'm going to use the scale of 0 to 10 for my pain, okay? So the next morning, I didn't take anything. I thought I better make an appointment with a chiropractor. So I did, and he couldn't see me till 3:30 that afternoon. And I was okay Thursday morning, but by the time I got to him at 3:30 afternoon, I was having to drive like this, and I was really frightened because I couldn't turn my neck to see if something was coming, and I was having to partially or rely on my littles to tell me if something was coming, and that was not, I don't trust them. So I would have to do like this to see if a car was coming when I was driving, and so I got there, and I don't like x-rays, but I let him x-ray me because it'd been 3 years, and I was twisted. I saw the x-rays from T1 to T12 twisted. I saw it. And then, of course, my SI joint was out. So I'm glad he did the x-rays. He adjusted me, and of course they did the therapy. Well, so I would say that my pain when I got to him was probably an 8, probably. And then I left and I felt better. So I was maybe even a 7. The next morning, so I started taking Arnica that night, and Mr. Patient rubbed the Arnica Gel. This is kind of beat up, but Arniflora Arnica Gel is what this is. It's not the same company, I don't think. But he rubbed that on my back, and I took these. So what I did is I took, after I left, I had to go to the store to buy this on the way home from the chiropractor. I took 4 tablets under the tongue every 15 minutes for an hour. Then I took it every hour until I went to bed. So that was probably 2 more times after that for that day. I woke up Friday morning and, I'm going to back up. I'm going to retract what I said. I was probably at a 6 in pain on that Thursday. Woke up Friday morning and I was at an 8 for sure. If not a 9. I could not move. I was terrified the chiropractor had hurt me, had caused damage. He never has before, the many years I've been going, but I was frightened. I took 1 dose, which is 4 tablets every 3 hours. Now, part of, where did I get these numbers? Well, part of it is what it says on here. Part of it is just the things I've learned, read for the past couple of years that I've been reading about this. So I was experimenting. So the next day after my adjustment, I took 4 tablets every 3 hours the whole day. We did this twice that day. Friday morning, Friday night. By Friday afternoon and evening, it was starting to ease up. And of course, now let me say, I prayed about this too. I believe the Lord is the healer, and he uses many things, even medications and allopathic medicine, which is medical doctors. But I was determined. I was hurting so bad Friday. I mean, I was in so much pain. I honestly just, I wanted to throw up. I hate to be rude, but that's how much pain I was in. And I don't take ibuprofen, acetaminophen, any of that, aspirin, nothing. And I was on the verge of taking it that day. But I also wanted to try this, and I wanted to just kind of work through the pain and pray about it. And I'm glad I did not take the ibuprofen, because I almost did. Well, so I just, Saturday and Sunday, I took 1 dose the whole day. Just 1 dose Saturday, 1 dose Sunday. And Saturday I was still a little nervous because I was supposed to take the kids on the road trip, which you can see about here, where some of the places we went. And I didn't know how I was going to drive. It was that bad. I mean, I can't drive like this. So 1 dose Saturday, 1 dose Sunday. And by Monday, I went back to the chiropractor before we got on the road. And it was like at a 3 or maybe even a 2, my pain level. Now, the thing is, did time take care of it? Could have. But instead of this, could have. But my doctor had told me that it'll take 10 days because I had a rib out as well as the T1 to T12. So that was twisted and a rib was out. And he had told me that it takes 10 days for the pain to go away when you've got the rib out like that, or it's been put back, readjusted. And so we're talking, there's 5 days. Yeah, about 5 days from the time I fell till Monday. And I was way better. So I contributed to the Arnica. I contributed to this. Now, that afternoon, or that morning, I went to him that Monday morning, and we were about to get on the road, and he reminded me about a product he has. And I'm not being sponsored. I'm just sharing with y'all. But it's Formula 303, a natural relaxant. And he reminded me about this, and I'd had it in the past for menstrual cramps and other things like that, and it works. So I took one when I got on the road. It's just a natural muscle relaxer. I didn't take more than one because I didn't want to fall asleep, obviously. And by the way, they stink to high heaven. But, and I only had to take one, and that was that Monday. So I took, I kept taking the Tuesday and the Wednesday, and then I forgot about it because we were traveling. So that's just my testimony, my experience this last time. We've used it several times, but it helped me so much that I wanted to share this with you. It helped me so much this last time. Now, I did want pain relief, but I also wanted to experiment and kind of give it a testimony. But you can also use essential oils, or you could use them together, but like I said, I was trying to see how well that would work. Young Living Oil Company has something called Panaway, and it is like a pain reliever. And doTERRA has a similar product called Deep Blue, and then here's one from Rocky Mountain Oils. Now this is not exactly the equivalent of these, but they do have a product that's supposed to be the equivalent to this, but this is similar. And this still does have the helichrysum and wintergreen and clove and peppermint, so it's very, very similar. So I'm just saying, these are 3 companies. Actually, I'll talk to you more about oils later and why. Why Mr. Patient and I use 3 companies. There's a good reason. There's a reason, a good reason. And I'll talk to you more about that. But, so yeah, so there's that. Let me tell you just a couple things that my chiropractor told me that might help you. One thing I thought was interesting, especially if you're a back patient, I guess that's what I'm called. And so many people have back problems these days. But, you know, I had the rib out, which, whew, you could tell. If you've got a rib out, you know it. You know something's wrong. But when you sneeze, he said, a sneeze travels at 97 miles an hour. 97 miles an hour. So that is going through your body. And he said that if you try to hold it in and be polite, he said, don't be polite. He said, if you hold it in, the sneeze has got to go somewhere. And do you know that, you know when your back hurts, if you try to hold it in, your back hurts? I remember before I had my spinal fusion, the 2 things I wanted to be able to do, and I was 36, 37 years old. I wanted to be able to tie my shoes without having pain and sneeze. Wanted to be able to sneeze without pain. So how many of you have sneezed and then your back was killing you? Well, he said your sneeze has to go somewhere. And so he told me to sneeze like this. So my chiropractor told me the sneeze has to go somewhere, and you don't want it to just go to your back or your ribs or stay in there. And if you hold it in, the energy has to go somewhere. So he taught me that it should come out the knees. So honestly, it makes a difference. Visualize, achoo, achoo, and kind of bend and pushing the energy out your knees. And it really does make a difference. Take it from me. So if you're sneezing, achoo, achoo, all right, or in your whatever, but pushing it out your knees instead of pushing it out your back or holding it in your back or ribs. Try it. It works. Well, and it works. It works. You don't feel the pain in your back. So y'all should try that. And remember, a sneeze travels at 97 miles an hour. So, also, he told me the tissue in between the ribs, called the intercostal tissue. And it's like a piece of paper. It's as thin as a piece of paper. And he said God made it that thin so you could breathe. You know, if it were thicker, you wouldn't be able to breathe. But, you know, when that is messed with in there and has to be adjusted, then it takes a while. It's tender and it hurts. It takes a while to get back to the way it should be. Well, I'm feeling fine now. And thank the Lord for chiropractic, honestly. And some of you may not believe in it. That's fine. That's fine. But I would have had to have steroid injections, or more surgery, or medications, all these many years if I hadn't used chiropractic. So I'm an advocate for it, and Mr. Patient uses chiropractic. Our 3 oldest sons do, our first daughter-in-law does, our granddaughter, and our other 2 young sons, and our daughter's going to have it before we leave for the trip. So we all believe in it, and it's really helped us. So Nobody has ever gotten hurt in our family by going to a chiropractor. A good one. You've got to find a good one. I will say sometimes it may be hard to find one, but anyway, so that's my story. If you wanted to get started with homeopathy and learn, you can just go to the grocery store. It doesn't have to be one of the whole, foods type Sprouts places or whatever, although those are good and that's where I go. But a lot of times the grocery stores that are the mainstream all-purpose grocery stores, they will have boxes. I think I've showed you. Check out this video because I've showed you some of these, and it'll say on there what it's for and how to take it, and it's very easy to start with those and learn and just go from there. But you have to one dose is usually not going to help. But the thing, it's not going to hurt you. So this is your friend, Miss Katie, sharing my experience because we just want to keep it real. And we would love for you to subscribe, y'all, because subscribing really helps our channel. And there are lots of things we're wanting to do. We want to add links to our videos and that kind of thing. We can't do that unless we have more subscribers. So that's why we keep asking you to please subscribe. I hope y'all have a good day and good health. Bye-bye.